Hello everyone, welcome to Ferdinand Tutorials. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a study habit that prevented me from graduating with a first class while studying biochemistry as an undergrad in the university. Now, I want you to understand something. Most of what we do on a daily basis are usually automatic, like brushing your teeth. You don't even think about it. Most of the time, you don't even realize you are doing it. Now, this is exactly true with how you manage your grade as an undergrad, be it your first year student, second year, third year, or fifth year. It takes conscious effort, it takes planning, it takes seriousness, it takes dedication. Nobody is coming to tell you that it's as easy as it comes. No, it takes a lot of effort for you to graduate with that first class. But most of the time, we don't realize it. I would now. So I will share my experience, what held me back from graduating with that first class. I didn't graduate with a pass, I graduated with a 4.18 CGPA out of 5.00 as an undergrad in biochemistry. Now, if you are liking where this video is going, please hit that like button so that YouTube can recommend this video, to other person so that they can watch as well. Now, the first mistake is cramming instead of consistent study. Cramming instead of consistent study. Now, I want you to understand something. When we're talking about cramming, cramming usually comes when you've, used up the whole period in the semester, and then you have maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks to exam, and then you decide to cram a whole textbook inside your book so that you can go and write it in exam. Now, that is not an effective study habit. It's a very bad habit. So what I was doing then was, it's not like I will wake up maybe 3 weeks to exam. I will resume earlier in the semester. I will start studying. But while I start studying earlier in the semester, I don't, study effectively. What I do is that I will skim through. So when it start getting to, those weeks to exam, then I'll start bombarding myself, with excessive work. And that is a very bad study habit. So when you cram instead of consistent study is not every day you go for night class and then you read for 4 hours, 5 hours. That's not consistent study. You can spend 7 hours in night class, but you're not studying. You can be looking at your book effectively, but you're not studying. Then what determines, your study ability is the number of, reabsorption that you have. What are the materials that you've been able to absorb? What have you read through? How long can you remember? How much can you remember of what you've read? That's the proof of study. Proof of study is not how long, but what? How well. Are we together now? Second one is passive reading. Passive reading without engagement. Now, this dealt with me seriously. Without engagement. Now, this dealt with me. Most of, undergrad that are watching this video, when we get textbooks, we go through it and then we say, I'll read chapter 1 today. And then after chapter 1, you close your book. No, that's not how to read. That was the mistake I made earlier on during my 100 and earlier 200 level. It was my 200 level second semester that I understood, okay, this guy, we need to start being serious. And that was what helped me to even graduate with a 4 point CGPA. Are we together now? Now, the mistake we usually make, especially newly admitted students or even students who are in their second or third year, is that we tend to read passively without engaging. You get a textbook, you read through it. I've read for 4 hours. But you don't have a particular note that you jot down what you've understood. Are we there now? Try as much as possible to ask yourself questions. Say you are reading a particular topic on maybe political science or biochemistry or microbiology. Now, if you get a particular topic, maybe a microorganism, you dissect it. When you are done reading, you don't just close the book. You get a new book, make a note from what you've understood. That is what? Engagement. So when you only read textbook without engaging, that is a very bad study habit. So you must learn to read. While you are reading, make sure you try as much as possible to engage. Engaging can be either by asking yourself questions of what you've read, either by forming a new note out of what you've understood, out of your brain, not from a textbook now, but from what you've understood. Are we together now? That's the very bad study habit. Passive reading without engagement. So the third one here is multitasking while studying. Multitasking while studying. Now, then when we go for night class, I'll go with my phone and then I will be online for up until 11 p.m. By 12 a.m. I will start reading. And I will read till maybe 4 and then I will stop. I will start pressing phone. Instead of me to sleep, I will start pressing phone again up until 6:50. There where I will now go back to my hostel. That is very, very bad. Now, when we multitask while studying, is a very bad study habit. Now, if you are going for a battle, of course, you need to give your all into the battle for you to win. So when you usually give 5% in, 95% out, 95% in, 5% out, you're not going to get the best of results. Are we there now? So you are reading a textbook, you have a textbook on your table, but you are replying a message on WhatsApp, you are watching YouTube videos. Are we there now? That's not teaching you anything. Are we together now? So if you are studying and then you are watching this video, please pause the video, go and study. When you are done studying, you come back, or you finish the video and then you go and study. You must serve one master at a time. You don't serve two. Are we there now? Otherwise, the other master will suffer. You must give your attention to one so that you get the result you need. The next one is this. The next bad study habit is skipping practice questions. Skipping practice questions. Now, just as I said earlier, when you are done studying a particular topic, you turn the back of the textbook, you see questions that they've asked, regarding to that particular topic. How do you show that you understood what you studied? Is by answering those questions on your own. Of course, it's not compulsory that you must get it right, but first of all, try your best. The first step is open that particular practice question, go through them. Answer the ones you could. The ones you couldn't, of course, you failed it. You go back, you study again, and then come back and answer. Number one mistake I usually make then was I don't, practice this particular question. When I'm done reading a particular chapter, I will say, I'm done with this chapter. I'll move on to the next chapter. And that is very bad. So we must not skip practicing the questions at the back of each particular chapter. So when you skip practice question, that's a very bad study habit. The next one is not having a study plan. Not having a study plan. Not having a study plan. One of the mistakes you will make as a young person studying a particular course in the university is by living on everything can come, everything can go. Anyhow we see, that's the way we do it. Don't live anyhow. Don't be an anyhow person. Make sure you plan your life. From the beginning of the semester, this is what I want to achieve. By the middle of the semester, this is what I want to achieve. Of course, easier said than done. But please try and fail. Try again, fail again. Try again, fail again. That is how you build tenacity. That's how you build a strong mind. You don't do it by saying, don't worry, I know I will do it anyhow it comes. No, procrastination is too bad. So we must try as much as possible to have a study plan. Say every Monday, I'm going to read this particular course in biochemistry. Every Tuesday, I'm going to read this particular course by this time to this time. Make sure you try. Even if you're going to, that day, you're supposed to read it for 2 hours. It's better you read for 1 hour than missing it. So that when you come tomorrow, when you're waking up in the morning, you know that, I didn't complete yesterday, I need to complete it today. Having a study plan is essential for you to graduate with a very high CGPA as an undergraduate. Don't let anybody deceive you. CGPA is very important. It helps. And especially for those of you that will be entering into graduate school, it helps. Don't live anyhow. Don't do it anyhow. Now, another thing here is avoiding difficult questions. Avoiding difficult questions. Please, who are you leaving it for? These questions you are avoiding, who are you leaving it for? Is it your examiner, your lecturer? He will still ask it in the exam. And if you don't get it right, he will give you, question mark. So don't avoid the difficult question. Of course, there are questions you will see and then you don't know it. We are all here to learn. Even me that is telling you, I have questions that they teach me here that I still don't understand. I'm not here to tell you that I'm the perfect person. No, anybody telling you that they're deceiving you. We are all learning. It's a process. But one of the things that help us is when we see these difficult questions, we don't turn our backs on them. Who are we turning our back on them for? It is our battle. We must fight it. So since I don't know it, what am I going to do? I'm going to go online. I'm going to study. Go online, search. Go on YouTube, watch videos on that particular topic, on that particular, concept. So when we avoid difficult questions, difficult topics, difficult calculations, that shows that we're not ready. We must not run away from problem. We must face it head on. Another bad study habit is you studying when you are exhausted. Studying when exhausted. Of course, that is very bad. Awudiana. You must know that, everything you're doing all boils down to your brain. You can't read without understanding. And what do you understand? What do you use to understand? You don't use your nose, you use your brain. Awudiana. So when you're tired, please try as much as possible to rest. That is why I don't recommend, say, going for night class 2 weeks before exams. Please try as much as possible to resume early while studying. It helped me during my 200 level second semester, 300 level, and final year. Do you understand? Some of these mistakes I shared here, I encountered them. That's what I did. I'm not telling you what I didn't do. It's a mistake that I made, and I'm telling you not to repeat the same again. Are we there now? When you are tired, please rest. So what I usually do then is that when I come back from night class the next day, I will sleep, after my class. Maybe my class might finish around noon. I will sleep from that noon till evening so that I'll prepare myself again for the next night class that will come. You are a human being. You are not a robot. So please try as much as possible to recharge yourself. Rest. When you're tired, recharge, go again. Now the next study habit is relying only on group study. Relying only on group study. Now, then I didn't have a lot of people that I studied with then. Audiana. One of the things I love was I was independent. I usually tell my students, from my year one to my final year, I was very independent. I wrote my exams on my own. I was sitting on my own in the exam. No malpractice. I was not dependent on anybody. I was completely independent. Audiana. So this one was not, part of the problem I encountered, but I'm sharing it here because a lot of undergraduates, this is what we encounter. Say you must study on a group for you to understand. No, there is no rule stating that. All you need is just understand the subject of, interest. If you have a question, ask your friends. You can do group study, but it's not like your success is dependent on group study. No, learn to be independent on your own too. It will help you in the long run, not just in the undergraduate study. It will help you even as you continue in your life process. So these are the 8 study habits, especially these first 7 that I mentioned. I would then that affected me, that prevented me from graduating with the first class. I would then so I graduated with 4.18, just as I said earlier, out of 5.00 CGPA. I would then so please try as much as possible not to repeat the same mistake, and I believe you will do well. I will there now. Thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and share this video with some of your friends that are not, currently watching this video or that don't know about this channel. That's how we grow here. We are a family. We need to grow and we need to, let the continent hear about us. So share this video with your classmates, your friends, people who are studying undergraduate, biochemistry, different departments. Share it to them so that they can learn as you just did. See you again in my next video. Bye for now.